Hello, Shrewdness fans. Welcome to another edition of the Shrewdness podcast. I'm Prue, Dex, and Chiz joining me as usual. Going to bring you some NHL and NBA news. We're in the middle of the finals in each of those sports.
Heck yeah, we
and
are.
Want to get you up to speed on what's happened and maybe some predictions about what's going to happen the next few days as we crown a champion in each of those leagues. Also going to bring you up to speed on latest Royals news. And then there's been a couple of kind of blockbuster trades in the NFL right now. So we'll catch you up to speed on that real quick too. There's a lot happening. Hopefully by now you've listened to our World Cup episode that went out late last week. It's one of our more popular episodes. And if you watch it, you'll be up to speed just in time for the World Cup to start which starts this week. So
Yep, it's World Cup for dummies.
Lots of things happening right now. Thanks for tuning in. Chiz, why don't you bring us up to speed on the NHL? We know you're probably the biggest NHL fan, although Dex is, I think, a close second after last night's game.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Playoffs
Absolutely. I got to say, though, I'm surprised by both of these NHL and NBA playoffs, but we'll get into NBA in a minute. NHL, I really thought the way Carolina was playing, this was going to not be that great of a series. I thought Carolina would shut Las Vegas down. And, you know, as guaranteed by whenever I bet the under in the first two games, you should know that is not, you know, if I bet the under, it's going over. So the fact is, like, I thought Carolina would limit them a lot more. Las Vegas is scoring a lot of goals. And this is a case, I think, of like, man, that team got hot at the right time. They've been a talented team all season, and everyone's been like, they're underperforming. Usually those teams don't like just kick it into gear when it comes to playoffs. There's usually something fundamentally wrong with a team when they have that much talent and then they can't ever perform to that level of talent. But like, for whatever reason, the playoffs started and they're like, okay, it's time to play. And they've looked really good. They're scoring a lot on Carolina, which is known for limiting shots and not giving opportunities. And the score lines have been very high. So Las Vegas has unlocked something. I don't know if Carolina is tired. I don't know if they don't seem to play tired. They seem to be in every game. This last game, though, was really interesting.
Game 3 is
because Game 3, yes, thank you, Dex.
In Vegas.
You know, I really thought Carolina was going to take that game. It was 1-1. I thought Carolina was going to reassert control. And Las Vegas came out and mounted a 4-0 lead. And I was like, yawn. So I started turning the channel. And then, like, I looked down at my app and I was like, 4-3? What's
wrong with this thing? What's going on with my phone? It keeps showing Carolina goal.
And I was like, that can't be right. So, like, I look at it, I'm like,
39 seconds. What is going on here?
3 goals in 39 seconds, which is like an absolute collapse. That just doesn't happen in the NHL. And so it was like, they just, like, completely fell asleep at the wheel and let Carolina back in it. Then Carolina managed to get another one, and then we got to overtime. So, I don't know. Dex, you were watching a lot of it too. I know at the end we were watching it together, but what did you think of what happened towards the end of that game?
So, I want to first start with just how it got to be that. So, Vegas they went on a little run themselves, just kind of like scored in bunches and ended up getting essentially a hat trick in, 3 minutes for Marnie?
Yeah.
And also a Stanley Cup record. And Marner. And the thing is, it was 4-0 going into the third period. He got a penalty shot going in, and he missed it. That would have been it would have been 5-0. And he admitted after the show on SVP, after the game, he said, I kind of didn't even realize they had switched goalies. I probably should have paid attention to that a little bit, but I was just so tired and gassed. I didn't even notice they brought in the new goalie, so I would have probably gone a different way had I known that. But regardless, I thought it was still a good shot. And it was. It was a good shot. Yeah. But that would have been 5-0. And then just right after that, it seems like just the weirdest things happen. It's like, oh, there's one. You think, okay, it's just one goal. What could possibly happen after one goal? And then just a weird shot goes in again. Like, what the heck? And then another one went in. It was just when you were starting to like get your next beer for the next round.
Right.
Another one went in. I kept leaving the room just to go like fill up my glass. And I couldn't leave. I'd go like, why is the horn going off again?
Are you chugging after each goal or what?
Right.
I never got to go into the kitchen. I'd walk in and another goal happened. It was so quick, so weird. You couldn't even check your phone. It was just an unbelievable series of just that fast. And then it was like, well, what the heck could possibly happen now? It's 4-3. But at 4-2, I will say, I texted Chiz. I'm like, I'm putting a hedge on this thing.
I'm hedging.
I thought 4 was pretty safe because we said before it was 3 goals. They gave up the game before. And that was a killer. But we were talking, man, if they would have utterly collapsed and lost this game with a 4-goal lead, it might have just been 2 more and it's over.
There's no recovering from that, I don't think.
Yeah. And then they were super flat in overtime. So I don't know if I told you to turn it on, Prue. Hopefully you did. But Vegas came out flat. Carolina dominated the first overtime. It was just kind of pure defense. I mean, stuff was flying off sticks and off posts. It was like, oh my gosh, this game's going to end. Yeah. Then they survived. They literally just survived the first overtime. Then Vegas came out and looked way better in the second one. It's like they rested in the first overtime.
Right. The winning goal was still kind of like a big letdown for how exciting the game was.
It was. Yeah. It was the second own goal. So the other one.
Vegas got two own goals. The first own goal was atrocious. I have never seen. It's been a long time since I've seen an own goal that bad. But like it came back across the middle and he like just tipped it in. I was like, "What are you?" Like it was like total. Like when you're playing on the controller and your controller sticks. It was like it's just stuck. It was like, oh dang! Like I scored on myself. I was like, what is going on here? But the wild part to me is, Vegas thought like me, this was going to be like a low scoring goals at a premium affair. The line's been 5.5, over 5.5 on each of them. And so far there's been 24 goals in 3 games. So an average of 8 goals a game in this finals. It is goal-palooza. No game has gone, every game's been 1-goal game. So like, even though it hasn't been, because like there've been huge leads and then they've gone away, but they've always ended really exciting. And that's what's cool about the NHL playoffs is like goals can come in bunches, usually not 39-second bunches, but they can come in bunches, and that's why you shouldn't turn away like I did, because I was like, this game's over. I'll go watch baseball or something. But bad on me because I missed it.
Yeah. You made the point earlier, Chiz, about whether Vegas was just tired letting Carolina back in it and so forth, and I don't know. I mean, I think we talked a few weeks ago about the offense of both of these teams, right? So I think it's Vegas creating is how they're scoring so many goals.
Yeah, and
then same. I think Carolina just they're forechecking and their pressure.
They're brutal forechecking
up front. Yeah, they keep the pressure on in the other team's defensive zone, and it just leads to quick goals in bunches. And that's how good teams win championships. And even a 4-goal lead, I guess, isn't safe.
That's right. The 4th game is Tuesday night, and it's in Vegas again. And I would recommend not turning the channel. I'm not going to make the mistake this time, because no matter what the lead is in this one, it could evaporate and probably will evaporate. If matter of fact, I may bet one side and then as soon as they get down, like bet the other side big time, because it's wild. Like there is, but it does show there's no quit of these guys. Like even when you're down 4-0, most teams are like, let's skate this out and let's live to fight another game, and they did not do that. I want to ask you
a question though. So for Carolina's goaltender, so Frederik Andersen, when they gave up, 4 goals. I mean, it's a lot. And the thing is, the other guy that came in, Brandon Bussi, he's good. He didn't really give up a goal. I mean, really. No. I know the last one went in off his skate. That didn't count. Off the boards and then had a weird angle.
That's not his goal.
If you're Carolina's head coach, I feel like you still got to go with your main guy, even though, maybe you start with him, right? If you jitterbugs his way through a couple goals, you got to pull him pretty quick. But Busso kind of earned it. At least make you think. Like, gosh, we.
Well, the weird thing about Carolina too is they platooned a lot between their goalies in the regular season, and then when they got to the playoffs, they were like, "No, this is our guy." And sometimes teams do that in the NHL. They're like, "Hey, we want to keep him fresh through the regular season, and we switch off." But in the regular season, there wasn't like a clear one for Carolina. Yeah. They both played really well, so I was surprised that they went exclusive right out of the gate, but it was working. And so, when they go through those first few rounds, they were pretty much dominating everybody. And that's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think you're right, Dex. Now you got to say, it's kind of looking broke now. What does it hurt? What does it hurt to put Boosie in and then be like, if he doesn't have a good first period, then you go back. These guys are professionals. They all know. It's not like if one of them had been the one all year and then you start messing with it, that jacks with the psyche of goalie big time. Yep. But they're used to this platoon system. So I would do it for sure.
I think I would too. Like you said, if they've been trading off all year, it does kind of wake him up a little bit. Like, hey, I'm willing to start this other guy now. You had a bad game. Doesn't mean I hate you. Right. Get your head right. You focus, whatever. You may be needed in second period.
These guys all know they're professionals. The NHL, it's a Stanley Cup Finals. You give up 24 goals in 3 periods or 3 games. Like you're not going to be starting most of the time. That's just how it works, unless you're a Royals reliever. Which we'll get to later. We'll anyway.
Talk about that later. So the news is on this one. So apparently the World Cup, or not World Cup, that's going to be this weekend. The Stanley Cup, right? Get the right cup. Is 77% of the Game 3 winners end up winning the Stanley Cup. So Vegas got on the right side of that statistic. And I think because of that, they're now Vegas odds shifted to minus 185. So
wow.
You don't win much for picking them, but it went from like basically even to minus 185 for the odds makers.
Right.
So I thought that was surprising.
That's
I don't know. Swing. I don't think Carolina's dead. We just saw they are cardiac comeback kids. And I think had they won, for one, they'd be on the right side of the statistic. But, man, I think they would have won the next 2 games. So I think Vegas holding off, even if it's ugly, and knowing that you coughed a monster lead that's historically bad in the last 10 minutes, man, 50 minutes of this game, much like many of my betting forays, are looking great. But then it's always that last 10 minutes or 10 seconds where your best can just go to poop. And it just I feel like Vegas hanging on and getting that win is humongous for the psyche of that team. And I think they do end up taking this cup now. Not just because you're up 2-1. That doesn't mean much. Statistics are not. Carolina's shown that they have the resiliency not to really be I don't think that's going to intimidate them. I don't see that at all.
Right.
But with one more game in Vegas, it's a must-win. Must win for Carolina now. Whereas Vegas is already kind of like on house money because they can go back. They know they can win at Carolina. They've also shown they'll come back too, and they have the grit. This has just been a tremendous series. I've really enjoyed watching it.
Absolutely. So let's move to NBA. So a little setup here. This is crazy. This has been a crazy series. So there's a couple angles going in. We haven't got a chance to talk about the finals yet. So going into this, number one, there's the nostalgia rematch hook on this. So in 1999, I remember this. I used to be a Spurs fan. I wasn't really a Spurs fan, I realized. I was a David Robinson fan. So David Robinson retired. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm kind of done. But I watched the Spurs play the Knicks in 1999 in the finals, and that happens to be the last time the Knicks were in the finals. The Spurs, of course, went on and won a bajillion titles in the 2000s, had a bit of a dynasty there, and the Knicks have just been in purgatory. So that's kind of fun, right? Everyone thought this was going to be like a coronation for Wemby. He's just been a ridiculous alien.
Well, the West has been just so good compared to the East.
So much better. So everyone thought
much better across the board. mean, how mad? I have to just do this real quick. My little rant is if you're Oklahoma City right now and you're watching the Spurs waste your spot, just going to the finals and just literally taking a poop in their hands and laying in the bed, and rolling around in the sheets. Like, what are you doing? We are, God, how did you beat us? You guys are terrible. You can't do anything. Oklahoma City's
they have looked
sick right now.
So
absolutely
bad.
Sick.
And I totally thought, I said this series was going to be 4-1 Spurs before it started. I think I may have missed that statistically now.
Yeah.
So
the Knicks got a vote.
there is a phenomenon, which we talk about on the Shrewdness sometimes, which is the team of destiny phenomenon. And the Knicks definitely have that aura about them right now where it's like, you look at them on paper and you're like, okay, you got Brunson, okay, you got Cat, and that's kind of it. That's kind of what you got, right? Everybody else is like role player-esque.
It is.
And in the first game, I mean, both the first two games are at San Antonio, so you should win those games. You're the favorite, and you're at home.
Yeah.
Brunson shot like 9 for 30.
He was horrible.
He just kept jacking up shots. I was like, stop shooting. Pass the ball.
Which is what he does. They keep highlighting, like, well, look how many more points a game he scores in the postseason versus the regular season.
Because he shoots all the time.
Anymore.
Well,
how many assists does he have?
He literally had 1 assist in the first game. 1 from your point guard.
Yes.
And they won. And I was like, okay, if you can win with your point guard having 1 assist and shooting 33% from the floor, that bodes well for you. What I was really shocked about in game 2 was how Wemby collapsed in the last 20 seconds of that game. He threw a pass right to the back of someone.
Off the butt
Castle,
cheeks
I believe.
Of Castle,
Which I was like,
but
what
then
are you
Darren
doing?
Fox is sitting just to the right of him, the guard that you want bringing up at this point. You don't look for your guard with 9 seconds left in the game after you.
Right over here.
You just have to cross midcourt.
Literally drop it, and he'll pick it up and go.
Worst case is overtime if you don't get a shot that goes in. And instead, what was he doing? And I know he feels kind of sick to him, so he probably hasn't slept in 2 days.
I'm sure he feels sick to himself.
Spurs fans haven't slept in 2 days either. Going, oh my God, I threw it off the butt cheeks.
And then the last shot, you're 7-5 or 4, whatever you are,
doing fadeaways from the top
to
of the
settle
key.
for a jump shot at the top of the key. Like, I mean, I get like they ran the screen, he popped, but like he takes 2 steps and he's got a layup.
Yeah,
and probably at minimum he's going to get fouled and like gets a chance of free throw. It was just such a weird final shot too. So it was like they're not helping themselves.
So, I mean, SportsCenter, SVP, even the announcers like, oh, he got a good look. I'm like, no, he didn't. That was highly contested.
Wasn't great.
He had a hand in his face.
Great. Right.
And fading away. Like, what are you talking about, great look? No, it wasn't.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't know what a good look looks like. But it's not a hand in my face jumping into me with me fading backwards from my 7'4" guy. Like, I don't know what the hell that was, but good look.
That's
not
right.
what I quoted it as.
I agree. I mean, it was wild. One of the things that I read the other day, I was really shocked by, though. You guys, I don't know if you're as shocked as me, because, we're getting old, and the years, like, kind of run together.
Shocking now.
Right? It's like the years run together, and, like, something that I think was, like, last year was, like, 8 years ago. I'm like, what? So this is the 8th consecutive year there's going to be a unique first time or a champion in the NBA. So no repeats. This will be for the 8th year.
State won a couple in a row. They didn't win 2 in a row.
Yeah, that was a while back ago. That's the thing you're thinking. Because like you're like me. I was like, well, Golden State did it, and I'm like, oh, that was like in 2015. Oh, okay, that seemed pretty recent to me.
Wow, it does.
Right?
Back in 1984.
The Bulls just kept winning.
Right? I mean, it's crazy. So I really didn't think, and I listen, full disclosure, I don't like teams from New York. Okay? I don't like teams from New York because I feel like the media goes absolutely nuts anytime a team from New York's in it, and they like make it a bigger deal than they would if one of my small market teams is in. So it's like, oh, it's the best series ever because it's New York team, and look how great this Knicks team is. I'll give them props. They're playing great. They're playing above, I think, their abilities.
Yeah,
but
in reality, though, it is a big deal because they haven't been there for so long.
It is. It is a big deal.
We've had a long, glorious time as an anti-New York fan base.
You're right.
Like
You're right.
Haven't even been in the finals.
Right.
Yankees don't.
They haven't been in the
Knicks
they haven't been in the finals
in
in 27 years.
Yeah. So for that city, if you are actually a Knicks fan and not a bandwagon, it probably is super fun because every 30 years as a Royals fan, we get to win. And so,
to say.
Yeah, so we know what that
85
feels
to 2015 is not a whole lot different than
that's right.
what the Knicks
hold my breath for 45.
And whole generations have gone, like, didn't know that they could win a championship. I mean, that's a dusty trophy case for them, too. So I think it is pretty exciting. I like the New York
and the
fans
Spurs have won a bunch lately. So, I mean, lately.
Not in the last 8 years, apparently.
Yeah.
For our sensibilities, lately they had quite a run. So here's the question I'm going to pose to both of you.
Yeah.
Do the Spurs have a chance? Is this thing over? It's going back to New York. They're down 2-0. Do the Spurs have a chance? Can they win this? And do you think they will still win it? Because I think overall going in, everybody thought the Spurs were going to win. So can they right the ship? Prue.
I don't think so. I think New York's a tough place to play. I think if Wemby hits the last shot and they win by a point in game 2, then I think they go on and complete the comeback. But down 2-0 and go back to New York, that's a tall ask.
Right? I agree. Dex?
I mean, the odds are not ever in their favor down 0-2, and then going on the road, that does not bode well. But here's the thing. We have not seen the best of the Spurs at all. I mean, we did see it at the end of game 2. I mean, they erased, a 14-point lead?
Yeah.
Quickly. In the end of the fourth quarter, they damn near pulled a Carolina against the Knights for hockey.
Right.
I mean, that's equivalent, almost. It's not quite equivalent, but pretty dang close for the amount of time they did that. I think they went on a 14-0 run, thereabouts. Don't quote me. It's pretty darn close to that. And it came down. It was a tie game with the Spurs taking the ball up the court with the last 9 seconds until he bounced it off Castle's butt. Now, that if they can play with that intensity and that just urgency, they can come back. All you have to do is take one, man. Just win the first game in New York. Now it's 2-1. You put the pressure right back on New York. It's like, oh no. Yeah. How do we drop one in the Garden in this front of this home crowd? Because you can silence the Garden. We've seen it. We've seen Jordan do it. We've seen just name the team that the Knicks don't want to talk about. But they haven't been in Wintersville for a reason because other teams show up and knock them out. So there's not a lot of good history in the Garden except for the other teams. So this could actually be something where Wemby shows up and makes a name for himself like many other NBA greats before have in the Garden. So I'm not over. I think they can come back. They have to win the first game. If they don't win this first, down 3-0, obviously. I mean, I'm not.
You're done.
Nothing too fancy about that. You're not coming back from 3-0. But if they can play with that urgency like they did in the game 2, I think they do have a chance.
So let me frame it up statistically for you guys. Okay. Only 13% of teams in the NBA final have gone down 0-2 and won the series. Okay. So that is pretty bad. But here is the could be dagger for them. The teams that came back after 0-2, they all lost the first 2 games on the road. So no team has all of them. No team has ever dug out of a hole 0-2 when they lose the first 2 games
tough
at home. So if they do that, this is historic. This will be a first, and honestly, the crowning of Wemby people will be going nuts. For him to do something that's never been done in the NBA before would be insane. And you know that he's going to have to play out of his gourd in New York for them to have a chance. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Shocking series so far. If you're into Teams of Destiny, it is fun to watch the Knicks and see how they do it. They do have some fun personalities. Brunson's a good dude. Cat is fun.
I love Big Cat. He's been the star of this series. He has kept Wemby in check all by himself. And you could say, like, the first half was dominated by Big Cat. Second, I think he only had a couple points, and Wemby had the big switch. So it was a tale of two halves, which makes sense. I mean, that's how you eat up. I mean, but the Spurs were up 12 points, and then down by 14, and then brought it all the way back in the last seconds of that game. It's been incredible finals to watch as well. We've got two really good ones going on right now. Stanley Cup and NBA Finals are incredible. It's been fun.
I think if the Spurs somehow blow them out in Game 3, that sets a tone. If they barely squeak one out, I don't think that's enough to like really shift the momentum and
I agree.
The ultimate result. But
I agree.
They come in and punch them in the mouth and win by 15 points or something. Game 3. They got a decent chance of coming back.
To me, it's all about the first quarter because MSG crowd, MSG crowd, they haven't had a title since 1973. They're up 2-0. That crowd is going to be just
bananas,
nuts, and it's going to be the first 3 rows are going to be celebrities who are bandwagoning on because they're all going to be like, I want to be seen at the final. So they're all going to be on there, and it's going to be shot after shot after shot of celebrity. Crowd's going to be going nuts. And if they can come out of that first quarter and they're even or up, the Spurs, that's a good omen for them. Because it has the potential of walking into, when you walk into that kind of environment and you're young, like the Spurs are, it could be bad. So
I think we are seeing the youth kind of play a pivotal key role too. You're seeing and the thing is, Brunson's been in these situations. Big Cat's been there too, man. He's been not in the finals because the Timberwolves just couldn't freaking get there, but they were on the doorstep a couple times. So Big Cat, he knows what's up, man. I think it's going to be a good series. We'll see what happens at Madison Square Garden. All right, let's go to NFL news. So we are, if anything, a Guillotine Fantasy Football podcast. And 2 really big trades went down. They're going to impact it. One on the defensive side, one on the offensive side. But the A.J. Brown trade, which we've talked about as a potential, it would be good, a change of scenery for him. And you can have your opinions on Jalen Hurts. At the Shrewdness, we don't think he's one of the better passers in this league. We don't think he's one of the better passers.
No.
So going to have Drake May throw to him to New England, I believe A.J. Brown got a huge uptick in upside and production with this trade. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Did it impact where you are going to rate him coming up? I mean, we got drafts in about 7 weeks, boys. So does A.J. Brown go up your charts or not? Prue, tell me about A.J. Brown in your mind. Is he up, even, or down maybe? Do you see a downside to this?
No, 100% he's up. I mean, the Eagles had this guy named Saquon Barkley in the backfield.
Who?
That commands a lot of attention in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get the ball. I do think there's some sort of locker room something happening between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. So
we will never know.
No more. Yeah, we'll never know. I don't care. Whatever.
Right.
But that's no more. Drake May is a great passer. He threw.
Yep.
He had a phenomenal season last year. AJ Brown will be the clear number 1 when he goes into New England. I think they're gonna mesh well. He's gonna have a great season, and they don't have to hand the ball off to, I guess, Travion Henderson. Is it still Rafumble? Who knows?
Yeah, you got to think Trevion's gonna get an uptick in carries this year in his sophomore season.
You would think so.
Yeah,
right. But I still think the offense is gonna go through Drake May and AJ Brown, and they'll mix in some Travion Henderson too. But I think it's a big move for AJ Brown. I think he's a resurgence this year.
So let me give you some data here. I love the data angle because there's kind of 2 cases. I'm bullish, I would say, on the move. Here's why. Drake May had a 72% completion rating. Drake May completed 72% of his passes last year, whereas Jalen Hurts was 65. Okay, Drake May had 8.9 yards per attempt last season. Jalen Hurts 7.1.
Yeah, Drake
May completed 60% of his deep passes, 10-plus yards downfield, which was second overall in the league.
60%? Wow.
60% of 10 on them. So I don't know who number one was. Doesn't have it here. But 60% over 10 yards, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at, Hurts, I don't know what Hurts were.
It can't be that.
But it was not that. I can promise that.
I feel like 40 is pretty good.
The only thing that is a little troubling for me is we talk a lot of the Shrewdness about the wide receiver cliff. I'm not saying that A.J. Brown hit the wide receiver cliff. I'm not. But we never know. No one knows when the wide receiver cliff is. It's just like it seems like all of a sudden, boop, like one
one year later.
All of a sudden, the guy is not that great. And if you look at Brown last year, he had career lows in yards after the catch. So I'm talking about the stuff he can control, right?
Yeah.
Career lows in yards after the catch and yards per route run in 25. So
he doesn't get
is he slowing down? No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
That's the routes they're putting him
on. That's true. But are they putting him on shorter routes because of, I don't know. So I like him, but there is a little pause I have just because I'm like, he's still going to be a wide receiver one, I think, regardless.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Vrabel knows exactly what he's getting because it was his former guy when he was at peak form. And I got to believe Mike Vrabel's drawn up a playbook that has a lot of A.J. Brown in it. A whole bunch.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong and he's going to be a decoy all season, but why? Why would you do that?
Right.
You just gave up a 2028 first rounder and a 2027 fifth rounder to get him. He ain't going to be a decoy. He's going to be the featured number one. I think he's going to look vintage, A.J. Brown. I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
The difference between an A.J. Brown and a Tyreek Hill is that, size doesn't ever go away.
Talk to Mike Evans about that. Where's his
Yeah, exactly. Mike Evans is still a great player because of his size.
That's
it has nothing to do with losing a step or whatever.
That's a great point, Prue. That's a great point.
I feel a lot more comfortable bringing in A.J. Brown into my organization than I would Tyreek after getting older and slowing down, plus his knee injury and all that. So
I agree. I tend to think Brown's dip last year was probably situational. It was probably the offense, the stuff going on in the clubhouse. People were not happy in that organization last year. So I think you're right. So another angle on this, though.
Yep.
What do you guys think about Devontae Smith now? I know they drafted Mekhi Lemon, but he's a rookie.
Yep.
Let's be honest. We know in the Shrewdness what to be wary of rookie wide receivers.
Let me tell you about
right. These rookie wide receivers are a scary thing to mess with, right? So the question is, do you guys like Devontae Smith's upside in this after the trade, or are you kind of like, I'm so ho-hum on him? What do you think?
Well, I think he's going to be more featured just by default, and so I think his natural role. He's Slim Reaper, man. He's not big fat Reaper. He's little. He's going to be across the side and some
the hefty Reaper.
Exactly, the hefty Reaper. But I think Devontae he's going to get a step up in production. He's the only bona fide wide out there. I mean,
he is.
Again, Mekhi Lemon, we like him. I mean, out of USC,
I do too.
He's going to be good. But as we've seen, it's hard to be good right away. Even McMillan last year wasn't good right away. He was decent. And Buka for Tampa Bay was just because injuries kind of took a hit to Tampa and he got the opportunities. I don't know if he's going to come right out and start getting 8 for 90 week one. So that's going to be Devontae Smith at the beginning of the year for sure. And he's going to move the chains. He'll be the one doing the first downs. And again, they're going to have the tight ends are going to have a role. Saquon Barkley's going to have a role. Absolutely. But I think Devontae does a tick up in my list too. So when we do our Shrewdness list later on this summer, Devontae's going to go up a few ticks on mine as A.J. Brown.
He's the default one, right? He's the number one now, even though Jalen Hurts isn't a big passer.
He was good too. Now the thing is, and I think this is what people are talking about. Can he be a 1? Like, is he really a 1, or is he just a 2 that's going to play in the X?
Yes.
I don't know. Now, that part's a good question, but as far as volume, I'm not worried about his volume.
Volume will be an uptick for sure.
Yep.
But
yes,
there's no hiding behind a number 1.
Yep.
Right. He's going to draw the best defensive back every week.
Right.
And it's easy to double team when you got a rookie on the other side of the field. So I think there will be an increase in volume. I don't know how much production that'll translate to.
Yeah.
My other thought is that Dallas Goedert is going to get a lot more throws.
I think he's going to get it
because it's Jalen Hurts and
yeah,
you guys
and
know how
he
I
likes
feel
the
about Jalen Hurts.
He likes the dump off. I will say overall,
dump off, but right while you're on that, Chisholm. Speaking of the dump off, do you see Barkley also being a benefactor of this? I do. I think he's going to get more of that Christian McCaffrey, more flat passes, man, because that's going to have to be the offense. Do you think that too, or do you think it's going to be just more slant passes to Devontae and Goddard?
I do. I think you're going to see more of it, but here's what I really think. I do think he'll get more. I think he'll have more catches this year for sure. And this may be my bias creeping in because I don't like Philly, but I think this is the beginning of the end for Philly. You're going to have an aging Goddard. You have an aging Saquon. Running backs.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, guys. There's a shelf. There's a unless you're Adrian Peterson or
there's not a lot
Emmitt
of third
Smith,
contracts with the running backs,
right? So, like, I think you're going to see the first start of the dip for Philly. They've been riding high for a long time, but when you lose a guy like AJ Brown, and you got to go to Devontae as your 1, who I'm not sold him as a 1, then I think the offense is going to struggle. I don't think it's going to be as explosive.
They have Gainwell too, right?
They have Gainwell.
So he's going to catch a lot to passes too.
Yeah,
he'll take some of those from Saquon.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a. I think it's a bad sign for them. I know that they're going to try to reload, and it's going to depend on who they draft, right? If they can keep the arc up, but I think this is going to be a year that I'm bearish on the Eagles in terms of
bearish on the Eagles.
Like I may actually bet the under this year on their over/under total.
So put them in the Super Bowl, Shrewdness listeners. Put them in the Super Bowl again.
So they will win the East for sure. So the other big deal, I wanted you guys' thoughts on. This is crazy. Okay, I was trying to think back to the last time you had a star traded in his prime to a contender. Yes. The two that come to mind are Jalen Ramsey when he went to the Rams in 19.
Yep. Speaking of the Rams.
Khalil Mack to the Bears, even though the Bears they were good at the time. They weren't like but he was in his prime.
Good, but
you don't usually get a guy that is this prominent traded at this stage of his career. So moving right now, Myles Garrett, we're talking about Myles Garrett, moving him to the Browns to the Rams. The Rams are clearly going to win now. They see Stafford is on his last leg.
The last year for their
and he's on his last leg, and they are all in. They just went to the table. They shoved all in. They were like, screw the next 5 years.
Yep.
This is for this year. What do you guys think of the move for both teams?
Man, so they got pocket rockets right now, right? 2 aces in the hole. They're looking down there.
Oh, big time.
Like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And
big time.
They see that, and the flop comes down like ace 9-10. Like, oh, boy. I feel fantastic.
Right.
So they hit the flop, and you now have – so they also got more help on the defense. This is just the latest.
Yes, they did.
Help. The latest help. So Myles Garrett is just the next big star all-pro defensive player to come to the Rams. Now, the problem is their defense wasn't even bad last year. It wasn't even that bad. Then you just made it arguably on paper the best defense in the league. You added 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. It's just going to – for one, it helps the offense. So Matt Stafford's going to get the ball back more often. The game is now short. They can run it out more. They're going to have more time of possession. He's such a game-changing player. I can't believe they got him. And frankly, I don't think they gave up that much.
Right.
Like, Jared Verse is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He is a good player. But a 2027 first.
He's a good player.
A 2028 second and 2029 third round pick. Kind of reasonable to me. I mean, he's expensive as all get out. I mean, I think the cap hit is what's really going to make it hard for the Rams.
Yeah.
But for Myles Garrett, I feel good for him going to a contender. I wish Mike Trout would take the sign in baseball and go to a contender. That would be awesome. If he went to Philly or something, how cool would that be? But regardless, I digress. I think it's a really good move. I think for the Browns, on the flip side, they weren't going to win. You look at that quarterback room, and you're like, what the hell is this? I mean, it's like a freaking potato head guy. You're putting just eyes here, and it's on the back. You got a tail coming out of his ear hole. I mean, that's what the Browns team looked like. So I think having them get all these extra draft capital, I almost thought they could get more. But Jared Verse is a controllable player in his prime that's super good. And so I think that's a nice piece. So you lose Garrett, yes, but you get Jared Verse, who's really good all by himself. I like it for both teams. For the Rams, you get to win now, and they should. I mean, the Super Bowl odds went down to like nil almost. Like, yeah, they're absolutely going to win. Of course they are. And for the Browns, you just get more draft capital. They need more talent. Now, they need a GM that picks the talent, but they clearly can hit sometimes. Just don't draft Shador and like find some quarterbacks.
They don't have a great history of taking draft capital and converting it to a competitive team on the field.
The 2027 first round pick, that's the last point I want to hit. This class has quarterbacks. If you can't get one next year, Browns, my God. I mean, Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders, I know you thought you hit the jackpot on those two, but next year there's legitimate ones coming out. Prue, what do you think about the trade and the players?
All right, so, I mean, it's clear they shoved in their chips, and then they grabbed like their wife's chips from over their shoulder, and they shoved those in too.
Give me that money.
Yeah,
I got a house mortgage payment I could drop in here too.
They pushed them all in. Super obvious that they're going for broke here, adding a lot on the defensive side and already having a lot on the offensive side.
Yeah,
my biggest concern is Stafford's health.
Absolutely,
it was a concern last year, and they rolled the dice, and they rode high all the way to could have been to the Super Bowl. 1 or 2 plays away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get that lucky again. I hope. I really like Stafford, but you're pushing a lot of money in on a 40-plus-year-old guy, and
they also have their first-round pick, though, Pruitt. It's not like they didn't go draft quarterback help.
Yeah. Right. That's the weirdest thing to me about this whole thing is like you were 100%. You're 100%. You're all in. I want to win now, and I drafted a quarterback of the future with my first-round pick. Like,
I want to ask you guys, if Stafford goes down, do they
gotta trade for another quarterback?
Do they have any sort of chance if Stafford goes down?
I mean, J.J. McCarthy looks pretty enticing all of a sudden for the Minnesota backup. Kyler Murray's take my comp.
Phillip Rivers is licking his lips right now. I don't think they have it. He would. He would. I mean, he would come out of retirement. Brady might come out of retirement for this.
I know.
There is talk of Aaron Donald coming out of retirement. He talked the other day about I may come back because he saw this defense and he's like,
no,
I want to be a part of this. He's not that. Is he a year out? He's only been out a year. He can easily pop back in there. And you put Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett on the D-line.
Yeah, 70% of Aaron Donald is just fine.
I'll take it. So, if you look at the history of these big deals, I think you got to bet on the franchise, not on the player. And the Rams' history is good for this. They did Jalen Ramsey. I forgot they did for Von Miller, too. They got a Super Bowl when they traded for Von Miller that year. The ones that didn't work out, Khalil Mack, Christian McCaffrey, they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They didn't win it. Tyreek Hill with the Dolphins, it went poorly.
Well, first year it didn't. They were awesome. They were the best offense in the league.
That's true. But I think
was awesome.
I think if Stafford goes down, the title hopes go down. I can't imagine.
Oh,
I can't imagine. Yeah.
There's zero chance.
No matter how good your defense is.
You'd like to push all your chips in with a little bit younger and healthier quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
I like Stafford's experience, and his toughness is, there's no question. Just he's an aging body. I'd like to see him about 5 years younger, and then I'd feel really good about their
What do you
chances.
guys think about the fact that Myles Garrett's 30? I mean, he's not a spring chicken. It's not. I mean, he's not an old guy, but we've seen with Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is like 31, 32, something like that.
I think there's
he's dropped off a little bit.
Myles Garrett's he's a different animal, man. He is all sorts of freak of nature. He's so good. He's so big. He's so athletic. I mean, I feel like he got to feel good the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
at
even
least
if he only
2
gets
seasons.
15 sacks this year, 12 sacks this year, I'll take it.
And when he's playing
the
for
down
a title,
year,
if you don't think he's going to give everything this year, he also knows this. It's not like he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, so I'm going to the guy, quarterback's like 40, huh? All right. Let's see what happens.
I got a year.
Got the team to do it. That Rams team was good enough to win it last year. And they were good enough to win it 2 years ago. And so this is their window. This is their window. I think that they're make the impact to get him over the top.
You guys talked about it, though. The backup right now is Jimmy Garoppolo. So he is
Widowmaker.
Ty Simpson is going to come in as the third string.
I guess they are having him third right now, yeah.
He's going to come in as a third. They're not going to put him ahead of Garoppolo out of the gate. They're going to see how he does.
But if
August.
According to McVay, he's going to compete with
He's going to compete. Jimmy. He's going to compete. Yeah. But let's be honest. If you're going to Ty Simpson.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo, but he has actually been deep in the playoffs.
He did. He went to the Super Bowl.
Went to the Super Bowl. And
he almost won the Super Bowl. If not for the
Super Bowl.
Chiefs come back in the fourth quarter. I mean,
exactly.
He could win a Super Bowl.
You could do worse, and they will not ask him to win it. I promise. With this defense, you will not ask him. But Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, dumping it off to the tight ends. You've got Devontae Adams still. You've got Puka Nacua. You don't have to do much. Then just let the tools take care of it for you. You don't have to win this thing by yourself. There's so much talent there. It's disgusting.
That's true.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see it play out. We'll have more coming the coming weeks, like Dexter said, with updated Shrewdness rankings. It's going to be a huge year for us on the Shrewdness. We're going to have all this stuff on the website. So if you haven't had the chance, go to any of the socials. I always put in the comments the link to the website so you guys can easily access it. But it's going to start getting busier this summer. And as we ramp up for NFL, there's going to be more and more content on there. So make sure you go there, bookmark it. Follow us on the socials. You got to get ready now so you can have the edge for fantasy football, in particular, Guillotine, the best kind of fantasy football.
The best kind. We got a little tutorial out there on the webs for that, too. So if you don't know what Guillotine is and you're hearing this for the first time, please go check it out. We go over what the difference is. So if you're invited to a Guillotine League, say yes. Go watch the video, and then you'll at least have a head start, and we'll put out a list, man. Just follow the list.
We got you.
Just get in. Just join the league first.
Just say
absolutely.
Yes. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, hard transition here. Transition 5. Let's go to the dumpster fire that is the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
Yay.
5 minutes.
So,
max.
I'm an addict. So I'm going to talk here because there's something about me and the Royals. It is like an abusive relationship. I cannot watch the game. So I will say in the midst of this losing streak that they had recently, I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to watch another game until they do something different. And I found myself turning the game on the next night thinking, surely it can't be that bad again. And it was. So I'm actually somewhat optimistic because in the last, I want to say the last 10 games are like 5-5, which for this team is a major step forward. So they just won 3 or 4 against the Twins. I know it's the Twins. However, sorry, Dex.
Yeah.
They did go, and Buxton got hurt. In the series. Of course he got hurt in the series.
He ran into the wall making a great catch in center field, but of course, injures his shoulder.
Which is so Buxton.
Because he has 15 home runs this year. Why not get hurt? Right. First week of June. We don't want you to
can't play the whole season. There's no way. So I will say the Royals' offense has looked better. They are putting up some runs. Guys, this is what's wild. They have the second most quality starts in the major leagues from their starting pitching. And Cole Reagans has been hurt most of the year.
Yeah.
So, and they're second to the Dodgers. Okay? Drastically different outcomes. Drastically different outcomes here.
Go back and listen to our show in mid-March when we were saying this starting staff is special.
The starting staff is great, but here's the problem, and here's what I want you guys to take on tonight.
Keyword starting staff.
Yeah.
The starting staff is great. The bullpen's a train wreck. Lucas Erceg is a train wreck. I love the guy. I love his story. He's been great the first couple years we've had him. He's horrible right now. They have to do something different. They've got some other young arms that I think need a chance. But my big question is, they're 12 games under 500 right now, okay?
Yeah.
They're only 5.5 out of the wild card.
But
12 games under 500.
Out of the Central.
They're 10.5 back out of the Central. But here's the question. Trade deadline is looming, okay?
Yeah.
We have about, 6 weeks to the trade deadline, maybe less?
Yep.
You have Lugo, Waka, and Bubic.
Yep.
All three of these arms are coveted because they're really good starting pitchers.
Yep.
At what point do you have to pull the plug on the season?
Pruitt, I don't know if you'll agree with me.
July 15th, if you are still more than 5 out of the wild card, I think you got to start shutting her down.
Pull it.
I feel like you float them all out there, right? You put them out there, you throw the line out, say, these guys are available, I need the right package. You usually get more earlier because the team gets more time with those pitchers to get more starts to help them get farther on. There's going to be some teams that really, really need these pitchers. And especially if these big time injuries come up, especially in the month of June, they need to just be watching it. Let's look at who's making the IL list and then go to those teams, check out the farm systems, and just see what the best offer you can get is. And frankly, I love Waka. I do. But, man, he can probably bring the most in right now. Lugo and Bubic, they'll also bring it in. But I think Waka's been the most consistent the last couple of years. Lugo's been good, too. We call him Cy Lugo, and it's not just because we're homers.
Right.
He's been pretty good. He's been pretty consistent. And Bubic obviously got some upside. I think he's actually signed the longest, too.
I think he's the most valuable piece, Dex. And the reason why
he has the most years.
He's got the most years. He's a lefty, and he's just come into his own recently. He's kind of on the it's really interesting. I was looking at who's out there. The Yankees are obviously one. They've
got Garrett Cole back.
They got Garrett Cole back. He's come back for Tommy John.
He looks good.
Max Fried is still out for them. The other guys that got hurt, Garrett Crochet's hurt, but the Red Sox aren't a contender. They're not going to probably make any kind of trade.
Cellar dweller, no Division 2.
The Blue Jays, where are the Blue Jays right now? I'm forgetting where they are in the mix.
I know Tampa's out to a big lead, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that division it's surprising
kind of getting out of hand
because Tampa's out there, but Tampa is still up. Let me see how many games up. They're up 7 games. They're tied with the Yankees, but the Yankees, here's their problem: it's not really pitching; it's losing Aaron Judge,
and he's going to be out for a while,
4 to 6 weeks minimum. So we'll see what that looks like. But again, it's not a pitching problem. That is, you just lost the MVP or 2-time, 3, whatever. How many ever MVPs he has? Right. Toronto is sitting in 3rd, and they're 7 games back, but they're only 1 up on Baltimore.
They need pitching bad.
They do. I just almost think Texas might want it more because you can win the division. It's such a weak division in the AL West.
Well, we have a history with Texas, trading with Texas. So,
and in the NL, the Cardinals are actually in it. They don't really have much to trade, but you don't think Waka might?
Yeah, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get from the Cardinals, though?
That's the problem, is that they don't have much.
All their prospects are in the majors, and I don't think they're gonna be swapping any of those. So,
the team that always deals is the Padres, right? They always freaking trade.
Right.
They love trading, so they don't really care about dealing prospects. They do it all the time. They can always get more. They like dealing with the real stuff. So I think the Padres could be a good landing spot, especially for any of those guys. I think
that's an interesting one.
Before.
So speaking of the Padres, I noticed they were 4-12 in their last 16 games.
Yeah, they're struggling.
They have dove down in the standings.
Yeah, they're 2-8 in the last 10, so they have fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, LA's jumped way out ahead. They hung with them for a long time, and I don't think they can overcome a big losing streak like they've had recently here.
I'll throw out another team.
Yeah.
I'll throw another team out that I think could be interesting because, Dexter, you talked about them, I know, in a previous episode. The Phillies are in win now mode. We think their window probably closed, but they're in a playoff position right now.
Yeah.
So they're in a playoff position. They're in a wild card playoff position.
Yep,
they need help. They need help at pitcher. Wheeler has had a lot of injury problems. Yep. The Cubs are reeling right now.
Yep.
They have lost an ungodly amount of games. I think they've won like one game in their last 14 or something absurd like that after having a crazy start.
They've been on they started winning a couple. I mean, so they won the last one. They're 5-5 for the last 10. But regardless, they're 34-31. They're only 3 games over now. They were very comfortably above, but they're tied with Arizona for that last wild card spot behind St. Louis and Philly.
They could use some pitching for sure.
Yes, they could use some pitching for sure, and I think that would be they do have some talent in the minors, and I think
they do.
That'd be a nice landing spot. We've worked with the Cubs before for the Royals. Right. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute, but let's go back down that hallway and knock on the door again. It's like, you remember me? Let's try this.
I think if of course, I'm the eternal optimist, and I think, maybe the Royals will turn around and like get in the they have the pieces is what's frustrating. They need to get some relievers, but if they address the bullpen, you would think that the guys that are hitting are going to return to the mean. You're starting to see that with Pasquantino. He's starting to hit more. Massey is hitting the ball like crazy all of a sudden. He's had like 3 home runs in the last 6 games. Bobby's going to be Bobby. You'd think Salvador, I know he's old, but you think Salvy's going to eventually get to hit in at least 230, right? So there's probably some offense coming. Those starting pitcher arms are not going to fail you. It's the bullpen right now. So if they can address the bullpen, they might be able to go on a little run here. And because the division is not so good, I know the Indians are jumped out and they've been kind of hot lately, but it's baseball, it's streaky. I do think the next, I'm with you, Dex, though. I think they're going to have to make a move before the end of June, like a sustained winning streak, or you start actively taking calls.
Yep. No, I think you're probably right.
So it's going to come down to the next 2 weeks.
Another team that could be kind of nice for a trade partner is the teams that are desperate to get back in the playoffs. And right now, Pittsburgh is a half game.
Oh, yeah.
Spot. So 34-32, you already have 2 pretty good pitchers. Obviously, Skeens
pretty good.
Well, I know. I mean, other than Skeens, you've got a rotation that could probably use a boost. And
I would say
they do have some interesting prospects.
Lugo is a third, or a Bubic is a third starter on that team. That looks pretty freaking good.
Yeah, right off the bat. And they'd be able to fall right into there. And again, they've got some interesting prospects that would work for us as a Royals fan. I don't think they'd give up Seth Hernandez. I mean, I think they plan on him coming in, but he's 19 years old. He's still like a couple years out for Pirates. You're in win now,
take
kind
him.
of. You could just come in now, like, here, take 2. We'll take this guy.
It absolutely is right. I remember when the Royals were in their window in 2015, they had a prospect who's I'm losing right now.
Yeah,
but
I know who you're talking
he was
about.
an outfielder, and he was very highly rated, and everyone was super high on him. And we traded
to Tampa Bay.
To Tampa, and that's when we got Shields and
Wade Davis, right?
Wade Davis.
Yeah.
And everyone was super nervous at the time because it was like, oh my gosh, we just traded our best prospect, and we got a World Series out of it. So the Pittsburgh is very much like the Royals; they have to manage that way. So if they're waiting for the 19-year-old to be ready, they're probably not going to be good when he's ready. So it might be. That's really intriguing, Dex, because
Will Myers was the outfielder we traded.
Will
we
Myers
really liked him. Yeah, he
ended up being a league average kind of guy. It was a great trade for us.
He had a couple really good seasons, and then he signed a nice contract for San Diego. So he did just fine in his career.
Right.
But the thing is, what it did for us, it gave us the key cogs to put the Royals in the World Series.
Right.
I look at them, and they're a team that jumps out to me as someone that'd be a nice trade.
I like that one
about both teams.
I like
we'll
that
see.
one.
Do you think the A's have any?
They're the same kind of team, right?
Yeah, and they're a game out of the wild card right now. They're under 500.
I just don't think they'll do it this year. I don't know. I don't see it because they don't have a realistic. They have a lot of holes.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, like we talked about, their lineup is actually better. They're hitting the ball. They have some offense. It's just some of their pitching hasn't really panned out that they thought, and they're kind of one solid starter away from being a legitimate, having a 1-2-3 in the postseason.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that could be.
I will say though, there's two teams that I automatically my radar goes up when we talk about trading with them, and it's the A's and the Rays. Because I tend to think that they are smarter than everyone they trade with. So they've had to become very shrewd with their limited resources. So if they like a deal, then maybe we shouldn't like that deal.
Wait a minute. Especially if you offer it up and they immediately accept. I'm like, whoa, wait.
I mean, wait.
Did I say that?
Head connection.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. Well, I think that wraps us for tonight. We've got a pretty exciting series coming up, hopefully, with some NIL athletes. So over the next couple of weeks during the summer, a little bit of the slow season, we'll be covering that. So tune in for that. Those will be fun. Anything else you guys want to plug while we're talking?
Well, go look at that World Cup for Dummies episode. So the World Cup starts this weekend, all over the place. U.S. hits the ground running this weekend. It should be fun. So if you need to know who's who in the zoo, like who's playing where, how did they get here, we run through all of that. It's actually a pretty fun episode. We learned a lot. So it's kind of fun when you bring on guests that know more than you do. You learn a bunch. Right. So thanks, Brandon, last week for hooking us up. Go check out that World Cup preview. It's awesome.
We will also, like we mentioned earlier in the show, about a month from now, we'll be heavily into guillotine, which is kind of our main content. And we'll be doing a series of guillotine football previews, how to play, all the good things about guillotine fantasy football, our bread and butter. That's coming up in mid to late July to get you ready for the
it's gonna be a blast
NFL season. So
lots
of good stuff coming up.
It'll be good. So enjoy the rest of the NBA Finals, the NHL Stanley Cup. There's some good series. So if you haven't watched it, hopefully we piqued your interest at least to maybe tune it in next time it's on, because they've been fun. They've been a lot of fun. But other than that, World Cup this weekend, enjoy that. I think it's going to be a good start. And again, U.S. is hosting with Mexico and Canada. It's going to be fun all over the place. So we give you some players to watch in that World Cup preview episode, so check it out. And other than that, until next week, stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd, everybody.